It's time to wake up.
Welcome to Ask the Guru. I'm J. Rob, the Guru of Peace, and also the OG of Protein. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here and listening. If you have a question, be sure to leave that in the comment section because I'd love to hear from you and I'd love to answer your question. I try my best to get around to everyone and get those questions answered as best I can and as fast as I can. Today's question is a good one today that thank you out there in the comment section left me. This is a question. I itch a lot and I sometimes develop rashes on parts of my body. What could be causing this itching and periodic rashes? Help. This is a fairly common question, also I think a fairly common problem in America. Rashes and itching have become a lot more mainstream than they used to be years ago. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. They could be topical, and by topical I mean a lot of people are using soaps, creams, potions, different things, oils, rubbing on their skin that may have ingredients, artificial ingredients, or maybe even natural ingredients. Some people are sensitive to certain botanicals, natural botanicals, organic botanicals, and they interact with the skin and cause itching, rashes, irritations, and so on. So that could be part of it. It could be the soaps and things in your laundry. Sometimes they contain chemicals and especially things that like perfumes and so on that they add in there that can also irritate your system. It can also irritate your nose in some of these particular cases. A lot of times though, people are suffering with rashes and itching if their histamine levels are high, and that's something that a lot of people don't know about. But histamine is a natural amine or amino that is in protein foods generally, but it's in all other foods too to a certain degree. And histamine is produced by your body, and it's also in foods that you consume. If it's in the foods you consume, histamine is created from histidine. Histidine is an amino acid that gets converted through bacterial activity. So fresh foods that you eat are usually very low in histamine because histidine doesn't get converted. Only leftovers, aged meats, fish that's been stored too long, over a day or two or whatever. Anyway, higher protein foods, even eggs and things, they can be that way once they're cracked or cooked. It's leftovers and things that bacteria can convert histidine to histamine. If a person reacts to histamine in excesses, then they will react more to pollen in the air. Seasonal pollens will bother them. Why? Because that's a foreign item or a foreign property into the body that your body reacts to as if it's in danger. Oh no, histamine's produced. You couple that with eating too many leftovers or too many foods that are higher in histamine, and you have double trouble. I've experienced this personally. I know this very firsthand. But the key here is to understand that histamine is natural to the body. You just only need so much of it. And some of us do not dissipate or break down histamine in the body, and some people do very well. A way to know if you're having a histamine issue is a lot of times is your nose gets stuffy sometimes after drinking wine, eating fermented foods, sometimes eating aged meat, steaks, things like that, especially red wines. Red wines are notoriously high in histamines. I know this firsthand. I know my wife knows that firsthand. They immediately sop her up. Some people get flushed faces, their neck gets red. These are all histamine responses. When you see this happening, then the next step is usually itching. Histamines that go higher and higher create itching. It will usually be in softer tissue, sometimes on the side of your tummy, sometimes on your arm, sometimes under your arm, sometimes on your neck. I know this firsthand. I'm telling you, this is not foreign to me. In fact, I created the diet, the low histamine diet, that it just takes care of that because I suffered from it for years. I didn't understand it, and I don't want anybody else to suffer. So if you're having itching, you can look at topicals and things like that, but in general, I'm almost sure that it's going to be a high histamine diet, and you need to get back to fresh foods and not eating the leftovers and watching, especially seafoods. They're very high, like shrimp and lobster and clams and so on. Those are very, very high. And go to lower alcohol histamine, like rum. Clear distilled beverages are way better, like rum and vodka. so much better. The wine, the beer, champagnes, those are very high, and especially red wine. White wine is usually better. So those are the simple things you can do. So I don't want you to not have fun out there, but if you can lower the histamine in other areas of your diet, then you can still have that wine and you can have other things. So everything's going good when you can control your histamine in your body. Anyway, be sure to comment and subscribe and like, because we love to hear from you. We don't just like you, we love you. And we want to hear more from you. So leave those comments and also leave those questions, because I've got a stack of them and I'm just burning through them as fast as I can. I want to get my knowledge to you. So anyway, thank you so much. And
Hang loose. Get the chill on, hang loose.